With these headlines, former President Trump says he agrees with a Department of Justice decision to release documents related to the search of his Florida residence this week. However, the DOJ points out that Trump has copies of the search warrant and an inventory of the items seized and could release them any time, but so far he hasn't. Eileen Alfandary has more.
The motion seeking to unseal the search warrant says that at the time it was initially executed, the Justice Department provided notice directly to former President Trump's attorney but made no public statement. The motion notes it was Trump himself who publicly acknowledged the warrant. Trump could release it and the receipt listing items the FBI seized if he wanted to, but he hasn't. The Justice Department's motion says that in the day since the seizure of boxes of documents from Mar-a-Lago, believed to number about a dozen, the search warrant and related materials have been the subject of, quote, significant interest and attention from news media organizations and other entities. Garland also said he personally approved the search warrant, which was part of an ongoing Justice Department investigation into the discovery of classified White House records recovered from Trump's Mar-a-Lago home in Florida earlier this year. I'm Eileen Alfandary for Pacifica Radio.
The House today is expected to pass President Biden's massive $740 billion climate tax and health care bill. It would make unprecedented investments in fighting climate change and, health advocates say, investments in health care not seen since the passage of Obamacare. Suzanne Potter has more.
Anthony Wright with Health Access California says it includes many proposals activists have pursued for years.
It would allow the government to negotiate down prices for the most expensive drugs. It would cap Medicare costs for medications, and it would require rebates if prices rose greater than the rate of inflation. That would help millions of Californians.
And that's Suzanne Potter. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is relaxing its COVID-19 guidelines. The CD says most Americans have sufficient protection from serious illness now. More from Mary Sherman.
The agency is dropping social distancing recommendations and de-emphasizes using regular testing to screen. The guidance continues to encourage testing for people with symptoms and their close contacts and recommends masks be worn indoors in about half of the country. Earlier this week, White House Chief Medical Advisor Anthony Fauci expressed disappointment over Americans' divided outlook on the disease.
When you tell people they need to mask in an indoor congregate setting when you're in a zone that has a high dynamic of infection, and that is looked upon as an encroachment on your freedom. We've never had that before. It's almost inexplicable.
I'm Mary Sherman for Pacifica Network and Public News Service.
Governor Gavin Newsom on Thursday released his proposal to deal with expected water shortages in the state in the future. It calls for billions in investments in water recycling, storage, and desalination over the next 2 decades to shore up its supply as the state gets drier and hotter. Christopher Martinez reports.
Governor Gavin Newsom joined other officials in the Antioch brackish desalination plant in Contra Costa County to unveil his new water plan. It's outlined in a 16-page document called California's Water Supply Strategy, Adapting to a Hotter, Drier Future.
The science and the data leads us to now understand that we will lose 10% of our water supply by 2040, if all things are equal.
The new plan involves investing in water supply technologies, such as building on the state's 37 water desalination plants, like the one in Antioch, to desalt ocean water and brackish groundwater. Other parts of the plan include capturing stormwater and recycling and reusing 800,000 acre-feet of wastewater each year. It also includes moving forward with faster permits for water projects like new and expanded dams, and a controversial plan to use tunnels to ship water around the Bay Delta. Reporting for Pacifica Radio News KPFA, I'm Christopher Martinez.
And I'm Max Pringle.